Hello, this is Robbie Mitchell from Head in the Cloud Development, here to give you a demonstration of Head in the Cloud's SMS integration for NetSuite. This video is being recorded in April 2023 using version 1.3.1 of our bundle on NetSuite version 2023.1. Now in this day and age, you've probably experienced many business interactions over SMS. Appointment reminders, shipment notifications, customer satisfaction surveys, etc. The possibilities are endless, and the goal of our integration is to support an endless list of SMS-enabled processes. How do we do this? We aim to give you a few core building blocks that you can use to make creative, flexible, automated SMS processes in NetSuite. We're happy to help along the way with consulting, of course, but you probably won't need us to. Let's walk through some examples so I can show you this module in action. Here are some scenarios that I came up with. This is what I'm about to show you how to do. The examples we'll be going through are sending an appointment reminder to a contact using an SMS template, sending messages to saved search recipients via a workflow action, sending product shipment notifications via SuiteScript, allowing customers to approve quotes via SMS generating sales orders, receiving MMS messages from a customer with a photo of a defective product they received, and finally, sending WhatsApp messages. So let's get right into it. So here's my NetSuite account. We're going to start pretty much from scratch here. In other words, I haven't installed anything or set up any accounts yet here. I'm going to take you through setup to having working SMS automations in NetSuite. So first, let's install the bundle. Go to Customization, Suite Builder, Search and Install Bundles. Type in Head in the Cloud and press Enter. And find the SMS integration bundle 349372. Let's install this one. Just click the blue Install button, and then click Install Bundle here. This bundle will work for free for anyone for 30 days before requiring a license. Okay, so this will take a few minutes to install, so let's do the other part of the setup. The SMS service we use in our integration is Twilio, so go to twilio.com. And now here as well we can set up a free account, so let's do that. As I get started here, I'll mention that the Twilio site will likely grow and change slightly in the coming months, so don't be thrown off if when you do this it looks slightly different. The overall process should be the same. So I'm going to enter my information here. Okay, so now I have to verify my email. Now I need to enter my phone number since that's what SMS messages will be coming to initially. Okay, here's my verification code. Okay, so now we're in. So for this Twilio product, choose SMS. For what I'm planning to build, I'm going to select Alerts and Notifications. I don't think the answer matters too much for this next question, but I'm going to say I want to build with no code at all. What is my goal today? Let's say third-party integrations. Okay, I'll click Get Started. Okay, so look, we get a trial balance of $15.50. That should be plenty. So first let's click this blue button to get a virtual phone number. We'll definitely need that. All right, here it is. So let's switch back to NetSuite for a minute and see if our bundle is finished installing yet. Okay, yep, it's done. Great. And while we're here, I'll point out that this bundle includes a documentation PDF here that has the instructions for the setup that I'm doing right now. I'm going to go ahead and download that and open it so we can confirm that we're on the right track. So we should be on step 4. Step 1 is installing the bundle, 2 is creating the Twilio account. We created the project in Twilio too, so now we're on step 4, configuring the Twilio project in NetSuite for outbound messages. So to do that, let's go to Customization. So go to Setup, Integration, SMS Configuration, New. We're on 4A here. So I'll mention that you might have different configurations for different subsidiaries or maybe different Twilio phone numbers that you're using. But I'm just going to set mine to be the name of the subsidiary I'm in, Honeycomb Manufacturing. So first we need to copy and paste the Twilio account ID here, the account SID. Paste that in here. The from phone number is this one here, my Twilio phone number, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to include the plus. And now this default phone field determines which field in NetSuite the phone number is read from. Contact records have both mobile phone and regular phone number fields, and if you do actually distinguish between them, then you might want to change this to be mobile phone instead. But I'm just going to leave it as regular phone. Next we need the Twilio auth token, that's this guy. So copy that, paste it in here. And when we do, you should see an encoded auth token show. This is because the record doesn't actually store the actual auth token, but instead just this encrypted GUID version of it. That way it's secure and nobody can read your token from this record. So now by default, we don't allow SMS messages to go out from sandbox or release preview environments. But if you're purposefully testing from a sandbox, you can enable that here. Next, we need to choose which file cabinet folder any images from multimedia messages will be stored in. I'm going to take a quick look at my file cabinet. I've got an images folder here. The ID is -4, so I'm just going to use that. And this inbound reply text is what people will see after they send messages to your NetSuite account. I'm just going to leave it as the default and click Save. So that's it for setting up outbound messages. Before we start testing, let's go ahead and set up inbound messages as well. So now we're on step 6 here. We'll come back to testing in a minute. So let's go to Customization, Scripting, Scripts. And let's find the HITC Receive SMS Suitelet. Here it is. I'll view that. Go to the deployments, click on the deployment here. And now let's switch over to Twilio for a second and go to Manage Our Phone Number. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, we go to Message Configuration. First thing I'm going to do is move this default webhook handler into when the primary handler fails. And then I'm going to copy the external URL from my Suitelet and paste that in for the webhook for when a message comes in. And make sure to change this from HTTP post to HTTP get. And then click Save Configuration. Okay, so now we're ready to try sending our first message in NetSuite. Let me remind you about one thing first. If we go in Twilio here under phone numbers managed to verified caller IDs, when we're just in a Twilio trial account like this, we can only send messages to the verified numbers that we have here. Once we upgrade to a paid account, you can send to anyone, obviously. But this means to test, I need to send to someone in NetSuite that has this phone number. So, let's see if this Bob Jones from Starbucks Coffee has my phone number. Great, he does. So first we're going to go through the most basic demo scenario, which is manually sending a message. I'm going to go to Communication, SMS Message, and click New SMS Message. So let's pretend that I have an appointment with Bob here today at 11 o'clock. I want to send him a reminder so he knows I'm expecting him. Before I start typing, though, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to be sending out a lot of these types of messages, so maybe I should create a template. So let's do that. I'm going to click New Template. I'm just going to call it Appointment Reminder. And to include fields like the contact's name, we can use the $ curly brace format. So I can say, hello, first name, looking forward to our appointment today. Save that. And when the template gets selected, it should immediately show you what the SMS body is going to look like. So we're ready to click Send, but before I do, I'll just mention that there are some override options here. The recipient ID is the contact's ID. If we know he has a different phone number, we could plug that in here if we wanted to. Or if we know that we wanted to use the mobile phone field for him, we could do that here. Or if this is related to a particular transaction, we could plug that in here in case our template references transaction values. But for now, I'm just going to add our appointment time and click Send. Okay, it looks like it was sent successfully. So let's confirm that on the other end. So this is my Google Voice account where I just received this SMS. And I'm going to reply as Bob to let me know that I'll be there. And after I reply, I should get that confirmation message that we saw in the configuration a second ago. Yep, here it is. Okay, great. So now let's say that back in NetSuite, I have continued about my day. But if I want to be notified of SMS messages, I can add a reminder to my dashboard here. Our bundle comes with this SMS messages to process reminder. So I see I got one SMS, I can view this list. Bob says, great, he'll see me there, so I'm going to mark it as processed so it falls off the list. Okay, next, let's look at how to send SMS messages to recipients from a saved search via a workflow action. So first, let's see if I have a search for maybe my recent sales orders. Okay, so this is sales orders with a ship date of this month. Let's see if I have any here that we can test with. I've got one. Let me expand this a bit. Say this year. Okay, so I've got at least a couple, and this approving contact is who I'm going to send to. So for sending SMS messages via a workflow, we have a custom workflow action that enables this. Let me show you that script, and we'll see what record types it's deployed to already. So if I go to my list of scripts and filter it to workflow actions, we should see HITC send SMS workflow action. And if we go to the deployments here, we can see that by default we have it deployed to quotes, sales orders, and item fulfillments. So since my search is based on sales orders, we should be good to go here. But if you want to deploy this to any other record type, you can. Just click Deploy Script and set whatever record type you want to use in workflows. So to test this, let's set up a simple workflow that runs based off my saved search. I'm going to call it SMS video order shipment. Record type is transaction, subtype is sales order. We're going to say it runs on a schedule, and save search filter is SMS sales orders shipped. It's not going to repeat, it's just going to run once a day, and let's say it runs at the end of the day at 6 p.m. Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to save this. And now it's just going to have one stage. I'm just going to call the stage send SMS. And on the stage, we'll click New Action. And you should see here HITC send SMS workflow action. So we'll use that. So at the bottom in the settings for the action, first let's specify which field holds the recipient that we care about. For us, it's this approving contact field. It could also just be the customer. Now, we'll use a formula for the message so that we can include the transaction ID number in it. So I'm going to open up the formula box on the message. And what I'm going to use is, hello, your order number has shipped. Pretty basic. Set that. And I'm going to tell it to use the subsidiary from the record just to make sure. And that should be it. So let's try saving this. And then to test, if I click the Edit button on the workflow, I can click the Execute Now button. And to see if it's worked, we can look back at the workflow execution logs. Okay, so it looks like it's processing now. So a few of the orders on the search didn't have a contact, so that's fine. We're not expecting it to send anything for them. But on one of them, it tried to send it to a contact, but we got a message that the phone number is unverified. But finally, on one of them, I just felt my phone vibrate. We did get a message. It says, hello, your order has shipped. So perfect, that has done exactly what we expected it to do. So now let's move on and talk about some suite scripting capabilities that enable you to have absolute control over the SMS messaging conditions and parameters. Now, if you're not interested in coding, you can probably skip towards the last 5 or 10 minutes of the video now. But if you are a coder, the example we're going to look at now is for sending a sales order confirmation SMS. And for this, our bundle actually includes an example script that you can use for reference. To find it, just go to the list of scripts, filter to user event, version 2.1, and look for HITC SMS sales order user event. Now this script is not deployed by default, but if you want to try it out as it is, let's just go ahead and deploy it. I'm going to leave it in testing mode. But let me click on Edit on the script file and show you what this script actually does. As we can see, the script is very simple. It really only does a few things. It reads the customer and the ship date from the sales order, and then it calls our send SMS suitelet. And there's a comment block here telling you what the various parameters are that you can use. So to test this, let's just make a copy of one of these sales orders. So the script obviously runs when a sales order is created. So when I save this new sales order, the goal is that we should get an SMS notification that an order has been created. I'll set the approving contact to Bob Jones. Even though, as we saw in the script, the recipient for this one is the customer themselves. So let's check quickly and make sure they have my phone number set. They don't. So So let me go ahead and set my phone number. So now when I save this, it should go through. Yep, I just felt my phone vibrate. If I check my messages, I received a message saying order confirmed. Ship date is April 30th. Great. Okay, now let's look at something even slightly more interesting. Let's say that I want to send a quote to a customer, and I want them to be able to approve it by sending back an SMS reply. To set up the first piece of this, I have a workflow. Send approval SMS. And now I haven't added an action here yet, so let's go ahead and add our action for sending the SMS. So for this action, I want to make sure to set the trigger to after record submit, so that we know that the quote has a number assigned at that point. So now again, I'm going to use a formula for the message here. So we're emailing them the total amount for the quote and the text to use to reply back with. Again, we want our message to go to the approving contact. And again, I'm just going to select the subsidiary from the message, from the quote. So go ahead and save that. So to demonstrate this, I'm just going to create a simple quote now. Let's use customer Williams Wireless World. Create a quote. Let's just pick our first item. Maybe they want some power supplies. Approving contact is going to be Derek. Let's just check his phone number. Yep, he's got my phone number. So perfect. So when I save this, I should get an SMS message. I just felt my phone vibrate. Oh, I got an error, invalid expression. Okay, great. Well, let's see what I did wrong. Oh, right. In a formula, you're supposed to use quotes and pipe characters like I did on the last workflow to concatenate strings like this. But actually, I don't even need a formula. I can just put this just right in the value of the SMS message. Let's try that. Sorry about that. Now let's just make a copy of this quote to test it again. Okay, just felt my phone vibrate. Here we are, that's better. So we have just emailed you your quote for $109. If you approve back, please text back approve, quote 1143. That'd be nice if I had less zeros in my quote number, but there we have it. Thank goodness for copying and pasting. And I'll just mention that if we check the contact record as well, we should see this message here as well. Yeah, here they are. Okay, so our goal is to enable Derek here to approve this quote for a sales order by responding to this SMS. Let's look at how we're going to do that. Again, our bundle actually comes with a script to handle this. We just have to deploy it. And I'll mention again that scripting isn't necessary here. You could do the same thing in a workflow, but scripting is my preference. I think you get better control this way. So to see what I'm talking about, let's take a look at HITC SMS message UE example. I'm going to click Edit. And here's the code for it. This isn't a scripting tutorial, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will walk you through it briefly. Basically, when an SMS message is created, the script parses the message looking for the approve word. Then we look for the quote number, we do a search for a matching estimate, If we find one, we also verify that the contact matches who this message came from to prevent anybody from approving it. And if everything matches up, we go ahead and create a sales order from the quote. And that's really it. Easy. So using the script file, let's create a user event script and deploy it to SMS records. I'm going to call it SMS user event video. I'm going to click Save and Deploy. Applies to SMS message. Set the status to released. I'm going to put the log level to debug and set it to run for all roles. So now, when I reply to approve the quote, let's see what happens. Okay, I got my confirmation message. And if I check my script execution logs, we see that it created a sales order. So now if I look back at my quote, you can see that the quote is now processed. And there's a sales order here for it. Great. So next, let's do a quick example of someone sending us a photo via MMS. Let's say we sent him his power supply, but when he received it, he said the box was empty. The power supply just wasn't even there. And let's say he wants to send us a photo of that. I'm going to send in this photo of an empty box. And again, if I'm going about my day in NetSuite, I'd expect this to come in as a SMS message to process. Now, I didn't send any text with it, but if I view the message, I should see on the Files tab this attached file. And if I click on it, here's the empty box that should have had his power supply in it. So that is great. That's working perfectly. So now, let's go into using WhatsApp. If you're interested in using WhatsApp, hopefully you already know a bit about using it for business because it is a bit more involved than having a personal account. I'm not going to take you through the whole WhatsApp business account setup process, but I will show you how to use it in Twilio. It's almost too easy here. First, if we go in our Twilio console to the messaging menu on the left, click Try It Out and click Send a WhatsApp Message. I'm going to accept the terms here and confirm that. And basically, to connect to the WhatsApp sandbox, you just have to send this special code to this number. So I'm going to click the Open WhatsApp button on the page. It's going to open WhatsApp on my computer, and it's going to initialize this message to their phone number. And once I send that message, I am now connected to the WhatsApp sandbox. So now I can basically chat with this number from WhatsApp. So now in NetSuite, we basically need to update our configuration to use this WhatsApp number instead. So let's go to Setup, Integration, SMS Configuration. I'm going to inactivate my SMS configuration while I do this so that it doesn't get confused. I'm going to do New Configuration. I call it WhatsApp. I've got the phone number copied, so I'm going to go ahead and paste that in here. And this time, make sure not to include the plus symbol, as it struggles with it for some reason here. But for the rest, I'm going to go back to my Twilio console to get my account SID again here. Copy my auth token again. Set the same file cabinet folder. Now I'm going to make sure to check this Use WhatsApp checkbox. That way it knows to send using WhatsApp. I'll click Save. So now I want to mention there's one big difference in WhatsApp messages. Their rules are a bit more strict, and for business-initiated conversations, you have to use pre-approved templates to start the conversation. If you're already familiar with using WhatsApp for business, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Otherwise, please take some time and read through their documentation. So here in Twilio, thankfully they give us a few examples to work with. I'm actually just going to copy and paste the body of the sample message they give us and try sending it from NetSuite. Let's just try sending it to Derek Williams again. I'll go to SMS, new message. I'm going to paste in that, and it knows to use WhatsApp, so I'm going to go ahead and click send. And as soon as I did, look, this message comes through on my WhatsApp. So that's perfect. It works beautifully. And once you have a conversation initiated, you can then chat back and forth freely without using templates for 24 hours. And that concludes the demonstration. Again, the list of possibilities here are endless, and I hope you see that now anything is accomplishable with the SMS integration tools we give you in this bundle. Please get in touch if you have any product feedback or if you're interested in purchasing this bundle. Or if you see this and think, that's cool, but not quite what I need, let us know and we can probably build you a special one-off customization that fits your exact requirements. You can email us at gurus@headintheclouddev.com or contact us through our website at www.headintheclouddev.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at SuiteWorld.